Hey guys, we're up at Bartlett Lake. I'm looking to walk a little bit of the bank since I get a lot of emails asking me, you know, to walk the bank and how to catch fish off the bank. So, you know, there's a lot of fish along this bank. They're all coming up to spawn right now, so it's all good. So we're just flick shaking. Speaking of flick shaking, there's a lot of fish here. They're not big because these are the little males that are coming up. But it's fun. If you're walking the bank, you don't care what size fish you catch, you know. You just got to be careful so you don't bang them into the rocks. I mean, and watch where you're walking. So this is just a little 1 pounder, you know, like this, but very fat. So we're just going to let this little guy go. He's going right back down. So today, every day I come here, guys, I don't catch all my fish in one place. I catch them a lot of places. So you can see what I'm walking on. Today, my choice of worm to start out with is a 5150, and it's called the Papa Punisher. It's orange on the bottom and purple on the top. So what I'm gonna do is, since the fish are close to the bank, I'm just gonna throw it out, maybe 10 foot, click over the bail, and let it go down, you know. Let it sink a couple feet because I'm interested in maybe getting a, you know, a fish. Now this catches suspended fish on the bottom, but you can see what I'm gonna work towards. I'm gonna work towards those rocks. So that's where I'm gonna carefully walk, but I'm gonna fish my way over there. The ideal thing to do would be a backpack. Put your flick shakes or your drop shot, whatever you want to do. You could throw crankbaits along here. Anything you want to use. So you just got to be careful walking because of all this loose gravel. So what I like to do is just kind of, I don't like to go straight out. I want to go parallel towards these rocks because right there is where I'm going to catch my fish, right where those rocks are coming out. And you can see it's going to be a perfect area in the back here. I'm using a very light rod. I just picked this rod up, this carbon light, last night. It's a 6.6 and it's a power light with a fast tip. So it's perfect for flick shaking or using a very, very small drop shot. So we'll probably drop shot a little later, but right now we're gonna just do this. So immediately after I throw in, I'm flick shaking it as it's going down. Because you can catch, there's one right there. Boy, he picked it up and he didn't, there's no bite with this, folks, no bite at all. They don't bite it, they just pick it up and go with it. He's running down the bank. Oh, that's a nice one. It's a nice day to film because there's no wind yet. So I gotta work my way down a bit. If he gets off, I don't really care. Ooh, that's a fatty. That's a nice little bass. Good 1.5 pounds. Probably from where you're at, it don't look like it, but it's nice. These are just the little male bass moving up for spawn. That's all these are. All right, guy. There you go. There's 2 down. So my next target is going to be those rocks. Because I caught that one before I even got to the rock. So I'm just going to stay out a little bit deeper. They're not right on the bank. They're out about 6 to 8 feet. So as soon as I hit, I'm just going to start flick shaking it, and then I stop. Raise it up, flick shake it a little bit, then I stop. Usually if there's a fish there, he'll hit it. Usually. I'll go out a little bit further now, so I'm just going to move off that rock just a little bit at a time. You can see where I'm fishing right there off that rock. Hoping to get one there. Like I said, in the morning like this, they're a little bit more lethargic. We started out with 58-degree water this morning. I actually made a cast way out there. There's one right there. Boy, he is far out. I'm probably down in 15, 20 feet of water. Oh man, he's pulling hard. Oh, I'm wrapped up in something. Somebody's line, or I got something. Some fish can't be that big. Oh, he came out. He was in a weed or something. Lucky to get it back. That's the bad part about, guys, you're gonna lose bait. You're gonna lose baits and stuff. Here comes our fish right here. There's another nice fish. I'm gonna check his tail to see if it's bloody. See if he's spawning at all. That's a nice fish. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of red on the tail where he's been fanning and stuff. Yep, on his fins and stuff. So he's been coming in working. We'll let him go back to his nest. But this is basically what you're gonna catch offshore. Once in a while you'll get a big one, but get him unhooked. So, it doesn't matter what worm you're using, guys. You can use Zoom worms, 5150s. I'm not using curly tails. When I flick shake, I don't use the curly tail. I just use the straight tail. All I'm doing is using a 1/8 ounce, shaved a little bit off the head because it's a ball head. Taking my straight tail worm, hooking it right in the very middle of the worm, just so it looks like that. So in the water, it's going up and down, you know, as you're flicking it. So let's just see if there's any more right here. And if not, we're gonna end this. But I wanna go out and show some other stuff today. Teach everybody about how to do this. So I'm just gonna try right off these rocks right here, because this does look like a good area to flick shake. Besides, I got a nice easy seat to sit on. So let's just see if we can get another one here. You know, I flick it a little bit, then I let it sink. And a lot of times they hit that bait when it sinks is where they're hitting it. That one just happened to be way off the shore, a long ways off, and I was tangled in the rocks and stuff because I'm gonna bet that these big boulders go way out there. But I'm trying to stay about 10, 12 feet from the bank because that's where they're gonna be. So I let it go down, and you have to be jerking it around like this. Just the one problem people have, they don't have a light enough fishing rod. They're coming out here with fishing rods look like ocean fishing rods. So make it real light. Get a light action little rod. It can be 6 foot, it can be 6'6", it can be 7. It's gonna work for you, you know. Let me make a couple more casts down the shoreline there. I like to parallel the bank too. I don't like fishing just straight out. So I'll throw it out like that, let it go back in there. Remember, use something really light. Normally I use a 1/16, but now I'm using 1/8 because usually I let it sink a little bit deeper, trying to catch a little bit bigger fish. So I'm just filming this, just flicking this right along. Maybe they are a little bit deeper. All right, well, you know what? We've caught 3 off the bank. That should give you the gist of just walking the bank and fishing all these rocks and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm using the 5150 Papa Punisher.